Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right. Whew. Still working off that headache that I strummed up talking for an hour and a half doing my mock draft. But this air has been great for me. And now I just decided to grab a few things. I hope I don't regret purchasing because, of course, I'm going to be leaving the room tomorrow. But I figured, hey, I can use some more apples and I can use some more oatmeal and maybe some more mushrooms. So grabbed a few things and looked around at some clothing that I knew I wasn't going to purchase. But just wanted to, if anything, to just get out the house. It's not overly hot today too. This would have been a great day to go to Hollywood and do my hill climbing, but you know, I listened to that voice inside of me and said, get that mock draft done. And after it was over with, it was already past 3 o'clock. So, you know, since going to Hollywood at this hour, but I couldn't walk around in the neighborhood, so that's what I decided to do, man. And glad I got out. It's good. It's a good day, and you know, I solidified that I won't have to worry about running out of certain things. So I think that's the main thing for me. It's just getting that part of my day going. So yeah, man, you know, I was talking to you guys about Fat Joe's situation and talking to you about, you know, just taking care of yourself to the point where if you have something to lose, don't do things that's going to put your life at risk or make it so that people will come back after you've made it and come take everything that you've earned. That's what you don't want to see happen, you know. And to a point of, you know, I think I've done a good job in my life of just leaving myself room to look back on my past and not see a bunch of stuff that I regret. I made some decisions that I shouldn't have, but not a whole lot of stuff that would get me thrown in jail or have me roped up into other people's drama or have me looking over my shoulder for enemies from my past and stuff like that. So I've been very fortunate. I wasn't raised in an environment where that was something that would be prevalent around me per se. I think, you know, peer pressure and the overall like circumference of people just being that way in your life can make it more difficult for some than others. Fortunate for my circumstances and hope to influence others to take care of themselves so that your children can have those same circumstances that keep them in line, that don't have them influenced by so much negativity and desperation and activity that I had them out here in these streets. So, you know, take care of home first, and then it trickles down to the possibility of us being able to provide a great environment, a safe environment for our kids. It ain't just about having them be in a safe neighborhood. It's about having it so that the cops ain't knocking on your door for stuff that you've done, trying to give them an opportunity to be wealthy enough to be in a safe neighborhood. There's a lot of guys who that are finding themselves in circumstances where they're about to lose everything. And those are the ones that we're focused on in regards to these conversations. People who don't see sidewalks outside of their doors because they have a great deal of property that they own, that are having the feds knocking on their door, taking them away forever. So we need to be careful that what we do to dig ourselves out of these difficulties don't end up being taken from us once we find what we're looking for. You know what I mean? The things that we're grinding so hard to get. Don't allow people to run by and snatch it from you just because you got it in ill-gotten gain, because you still lose the game. You know what I mean? And that's ultimately what it's about, having sustainable wealth, sustainable success, sustainable stability that doesn't just appear to be stable but actually is. And so that's what I'm asking that all of us strive for. And getting money the fast way, you can get it taken from you just as quick. And Uncle Sam come get it and leave you with nothing. So yeah, that's what we want to keep from having happen to all of us. But yeah, man, I ain't really talking about too much seriousness. Obviously, I can always switch into conversations about what's going on with Israel and Iran and Gaza, overall situation there. But I haven't really been focused on that over the last 24 hours per se. I don't really know that I know anything new than what I last mentioned on this camera. If anything, we're just awaiting what the fallout will be from Iran and Israel striking one another back and forth. And I think it's starting to become a little more common to the average American that something's going on. What they don't necessarily know is why. Hey, but they don't know why. They don't know who the bad guy is, who the good guy is. That's the question for a lot of people. They think that their media is telling the truth about why this, why that. But when you start digging deeper into what's going on, you start finding out that those people who are giving you a lot of the answers aren't necessarily telling the truth. And so that's what we talk about constantly on this channel. And I just think that that's kind of where we're at. The word is being spread about the Palestinian conflict and just what Free Palestine actually is all about. And then when you start putting that together with what you're seeing in Iran, then you start getting a bigger picture of what these people who've been saying Free Palestine are talking about. And so I think that's kind of where most of America is today. They just barely know a little bit of something, but they still haven't been awakened to the understanding of just how devious this situation is, just how much of a fact it is that your government is on the wrong side of this thing, and your media, who's telling you about this, is on the wrong side of this thing. I still think it's going to be a great awakening that comes to a lot of Americans about just how little they should trust what they've known all their lives. We ain't reached that point yet. But the things that make us go down that rabbit hole is starting to be introduced to more common minds. And I think that we're on the verge of that process being unearthed very soon. People are starting to scratch and sniff in the right directions. And then they start going down that rabbit hole and really tell them what's happening. And it ain't, the context for why they should care changes naturally when you start getting some of those questions answered. The fullness of what it is you've been looking at all your life starts to be a bit more clear to you. Things start adding up. You don't only have as many questions because a lot of things that you're seeing paint a picture of other events that took place in the past, for which we often say. So I'm just looking forward to where all of this comes to a complete head for the common American, the Super Bowl watcher, the person who watches Good Day LA. Like, when they come around to understand how much of what it is that they've always enjoyed and believed in is wrapped up in the opposite of their moral compass, or certain things that they have always endured was done by a certain people rather than just happenstance, when they start realizing what it is that we've already learned, it's going to get really, really volatile, in my opinion. It's going to get volatile. A lot of people are not going to be able to digest it. Some people, based on their ideologies, are going to go along with the wrong side of things just because they're racist and evil and don't care to see certain people succeed. So that's going to align with what it is that's really going on out here, and they're going to agree with it. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going on that we're going to see on Earth when people start knowing the truth about what it is that's been happening. Hey, friends. What's up, buddy? Hey. What's up, fellas? So that's really what it comes down to for me. It's just an understanding that people are on the verge of waking up, man. And as they wake up, you're going to start seeing people go in a different direction. Some families are going to separate, People are not going to be able to get along with one another as to which they've been able to when they were in the dark about these things. When people start revealing to you just how they feel about whatever this truth would then be. When you start having people separate for different reasons and coming together for different reasons, people that never would have got along are going to be able to get along because of this. And there's going to be a faceted individuals like myself who've known what they're learning, who are going to be looking at them like, finally you caught up, and you bunch of stupid people. Because we've known this for so long to where it's second nature to us, and people are just going to be waking up to the stuff that we woke up to 3 years ago when this genocide started. And I think it's just going to be a disconnect there for a lot of us on this side versus people who are just waking up. But it won't be long. I don't think it'll be long now. Some of the conversations that need to be had to have people go down those rabbit holes start to be had now. We're starting to see more and more people who have been in that matrix start to say, we just learned what's been going on in Israel. We just learned what's going on in Palestine. And they're going to find out there are a lot of things that are going to be unearthed that are going to help them understand why certain things have been going on in their lives the way that they have, why certain things are in place politically that have been in place. It's just, we're on the verge of something different now, and I feel like we're in the last days of the way that we're used to seeing America run, the way that we're used to seeing people just go about their everyday lives and pay into whatever and pay in taxes and all of that. It's going to get to a point where people don't think it's their moral duty, once they become aware of what it is their taxes are going into, to not pay taxes. It's going to be their moral duty to do a lot of different things that they never would have thought they would have done. And you're going to see more people become more passionate about these topics, just like we're seeing people who've been awakened turn their whole lives into fighting these causes. And you'll see more people awaken to their true calling, so to speak, and become activists out of nowhere. Because that's what this stuff inspires. The truth inspires people who are passionate about spreading that truth. And we're seeing it in a smaller scale, but we haven't seen nothing yet. Some of the most passionate activists are still in the dark right now. That's what I know. Some of them are still kids right now. That's what I know. They're going to grow up and they're going to be the loudest, most influential voices about this movement. You see. And so that's what I just know is coming. A lot of people walking around, and I've said this in different conversations, there are a lot of people walking around who believe they have a purpose but don't know what it is. And they're trying different things in their lives and they don't necessarily find nothing that sticks. If they have a passion for life, they just don't have nothing to point it toward. It's within the unearthing of these things that they're going to find their purpose and their calling in life and their passion in life. What's going to really unlock their driven potential is going to be nestled in the conflict between Israel and the Palestinian people. You mark my words. You mark my words. And that's why I want to tell all the Zionists out there. You got to understand that. Understand what I'm telling you. This is what comes of what you've done. People are going to get louder, more intricate about raising awareness to unearthing the lies you tell, to correcting the corruption that you have hanging over their heads. Corruption that's in place that doesn't even add up. If you put both ends of it together, they don't even tie with one another. They have so many holes in these lies that they're telling. People are going to be very adamant, much more adamant than the ones you see today. And I don't think it's going to take long at all. I don't think we're but 2 years away from what it is I'm saying. If that. Because the Zionists have backed themselves into a corner to where all of the different things that they've been able to do comfortably nestled in the dark are now things that are on the tip of everyone's tongue. Especially with this world war starting to come about, so to speak. See, China drawing their line in the sand, siding with Israel. That's going to awaken an entirely new thing. And you got to ask yourself, why would a government that big get behind a certain side or another? It's because they know what the people are about to do. They can sense what it is I'm saying. You want to be on the right side of this so that you can have control over your people. Because if you're on the wrong side of this, like America, you're going to end up facing what America's about to face. That's what it is. If China gets behind this thing the right way, they ain't gonna have to deal with some of them problems. Not in the same way that America is. When people understand that they're behind enemy lines, like actually behind enemy lines, then it's like, oh my God. We represent the people who are doing the worst things in the world to people that don't deserve bad things happening to them. And we don't even have control over our government because we're driven, our country is literally driven and run by people who are compromised. We don't even have control over our own government as we vote. Like, that's the truth. That's what people are gonna find out when they go down that rabbit hole. What people who are pro-Palestinian activists already understand. That our country is not even in control. We're not even in control of our own country right now. And that they are backing lies based on leverage, not necessary evidence. Back on leverage. Back on the need to keep secrets quiet. Basically, secrets hidden by people who are criminals who probably deserve to go to jail for the things that they're hiding. That's what's driving the decisions that our country is making right now. It's weird sex freaks and money launderers who don't want to get caught. So this is yet another crime. And them allowing themselves to be bought and backing the people who are driving genocide. Like, once the average American starts to understand that, oh man, please. You're going to awaken something in these people that you ain't never seen before. So that's what I'm telling all of you guys. A lot of this stuff that's going on with ICE is driven by the same people who are committing just embarrassingly heinous things in Israel. And the only reason why we've been moving that way is because we're back in Israel for the same reasons I just described. Like, all these things come together. None of this stuff is happening for the betterment of the American people because the American people are driving it. No, it's because the people who know these other people's secrets want this to go down. This is how they move in the places they're from. This is what drives them, is separating people and stuff like that. It's just like, America is not your own anymore. American, that's the point. It's not your own. You don't have control over what you see. It's not driven by your intentions and your hard work. Your money is going to places that people who have bad guys by the balls want it to go. Literally, that's it. It ain't even deeper than that. That's exactly what it is. And once people start waking up to that, you thought Luigi was bad. Video 44, I thank you all for watching. Come on.